Hey guys, alright, so I got a lot of responses and comments and emails about the scoop. It seems like the majority of everyone seemed to like this idea, so that's good. A lot of people suggested different tweaks and modifications that they think would be better for it, and a lot of the comments I tend to agree with. So I'm going to make some of the changes to the scoop and see how it looks after I tweak it a little bit. So pretty much the number one comment, sorry, I'm tethered because my camera ran out of battery, so is that the rear section of the scoop people believe is too thick, and it is about an inch thick back here, and a lot of people suggested that it should taper more cleanly into the car and make it thinner. So I tend to agree with that, and I think that's the first modification that I'm going to make to it. Some other people suggested that I increase the length of it and make it come back a little further. So I'm not really sure on that. That's kind of up in the air, because I think if I make it too long, it starts looking like the like the what is it, the 2005 Mustang scoops, the big square things that they had that were big fakey square, and those things are like 3 feet long. So I don't want to get it too long. The idea is really just for some simple functionality, and to keep the space in between here and the scoop, and up here, and up or down here, and over in this area, and this is up a little bit more. So if that's holding in the right place, it's the spacing is a little bit more balanced. So yeah, so that is something that I'll think about, but I think for now I'll just tweak it and make it thinner in this area. So I'll take it off, and what I'll do is I'll just shave this area down. So I'll cut it and then make it thin, to a certain point right there. And then what was some of the other comments? Yeah, so a lot of people, not really a lot, but a few suggested about putting a scoop here on the rear fender section. So I'm not real crazy about that, just because I think it takes away from the nostalgics of the classic car look that I'm going for. I mean, the car is a mix of modern and kind of retro classic, but I think that's getting a little too Euro, which is nothing wrong with Euro, but I feel like if I stick some kind of scoop up, like right here, it's going to try to want to be a Pagani Zonda or something like that. So yeah, I don't think so. And also, really, there's just not a lot of room. If I put my hand, like, I basically have from this area to about there, and I mean, that's just the size of my hand, not even just the size of the 4 fingers, so it's about 4 inches or so of space, and it's just really not enough space to do anything. And so I don't think it's going to be worth doing. I think it could probably take away from the look that I'm trying to go for. And then, of course, some people have suggested putting it down here at the lower quarter panel. So I'm definitely not going to do that, just because it's really so non-functional in that space. Just about every car that you see, unless it's some type of super hypercar or Lamborghini or something like that, with big 1 foot giant openings, you're just not going to get any air to that. That's why most cars it's all fake and just for aesthetics. Even like Corvette Z06s and some of the Corvettes, they're non-functional. There are a few Corvettes that have made that functional, but the majority of them, it's all non-functional. So and believe it or not, it's just a stuck-on piece, like with double sticky tape. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, so I just really want this to be functional. I know I'm kind of yapping a lot here, but and also, just one little thing to add to this is something to keep in mind is this scoop is really big enough, actually it's too big, to really cool off the brakes. I mean, the rear brakes really only handle about 15% or so of the stopping power of the whole car, in some cases even less. And most of the car is handled up front. 80 to 85% of the braking power is all handled by the front brakes, and that's mainly because when you stop, the car dips down and the back end lifts up and all that. So the rear brakes really do not need to be cooled that much. The type of cooling is going to be for low speed cooling. At high speed, they don't need to be cooled that much. And at low speed, I believe the air wrap around the windshield will not be so much that it will skip over this, after kind of reanalyzing that last night. So yeah, so that's one thing. And then the other thing about the scoop is that I have a few different ideas of how it can be used in other ways. And one of the ways is that it can supply air to, like, say, if you're racing it and you have a helmet that feeds air into it. A lot of the nicer designed helmets have a little port on the side for fresh air, and that fresh air tubing goes into an ice box to cool down the airflow, and there's usually a little fan, and they'll pull in air from a little Formula One inset scoop that's on the side or on the top of the car or somewhere. And so that's one place that can be used. It's also, a lot of people, their race suits have like water. They're like water suits. They have a little water system that runs through it, and that runs through the same kind of thing, a little chest that keeps their body cooled in extreme temperatures of the car. So this can perform and supply enough air for the braking, and to force some air into their helmet and get some fresh air and get cool air into their headgear stuff. So that's one feature that I'd like to see that this is used for. Another one is also the rear differential in the back will have a radiator built onto it, so that little cooling system will be used to cool down the rear differential, which will be severely needed in a setup like this, since the whole car will have a underneath complete sealed body pan and stuff like that. And I had that same kind of setup on my old Mustang, and it basically saved the car rear end tremendously. So I didn't have to spend a ton of money burning up gears and burning up the synthetic fluids and stuff. So yeah, so that's about 8 minutes of talking. So I guess now what I'll do is I'll reshape this real quick, and then I'll just close it up at the end of the video, and see what you guys think about this. And then I may throw it into CAD and give more of a realistic render of it and something like that. So hopefully, if this works out, then what I can do is such a small piece, I could probably have someone with a small CNC mill out a couple of pieces for me to make molds from. I had one guy offer to do some 3D printing, and I'm not sure if he can handle that size, but I think it was pretty close to that size. So he may be able to do me a 3D print of that, which would be kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, I will let you know how that goes at the end of the video. I'll talk to you guys later. Or why don't I say talk to you guys later? Anyway, at the end of the video, I'll see you guys later. Okie dokie. Yeah, so I just got through tweaking and sanding this piece and modifying it a little bit based on everyone's suggestions. And let's see, the first thing that I did was I took this area down quite a bit, so now it's only about an eighth inch thick. You know, it's a few millimeters, I guess. And if I press it down, it kind of gives you a better idea. This foam, it's just hard to keep stuck to everything. But yeah, so now it has a little lower profile to the back, blends in nicely. I have to leave a little bit of thickness just for the fiberglass. You know, it needs some strength in that area. And I raised the scoop up just a tad bit and gave a little bit more room underneath here. And then this area has a little bit more of a taper and not quite as not so much undercut like I had before. So it pretty much has an undercut and then it just tapers out right there. I don't even know if you can see that. So and the only reason it undercuts there is because it has a slight angle on the corner angle there, and then angle along with the little curvature, and then angle at the bottom. I had to add a little piece at this bottom, but that fits nicer, and it's sitting pretty much how it would need to sit, and I think it looks pretty good. Still, it looks about the same that I did in the other video, just less bulky or thickness to it, which, you know, like I said, I pretty much left that extra bulkiness just because I knew if I needed to make some changes, I can sand it down. And so I think I like it like that. You know, somewhat, it's pretty clean, and you know, I think it would be functional. So I don't know, you guys let me know what you think in the videos or in the comments. I'm so tired right now, and you know, I'll continue tweaking on it. I may take this design at this stage and then put it into CAD and re-render the main car image and post it on my Facebook and some of the videos maybe, but more likely I'll get to post that on Facebook. So you guys go run over to Facebook or Google Plus or any of those social things. I'm on all of them. But I'm just trying to keep everybody updated, because I do update those things more so than I do with the videos, just because it takes a lot of effort for the videos and not so much for those or for the Facebook stuff. So yeah, it's probably a long video because I think I yapped a lot at the end. And also, if you guys downloaded my app, let me know what you think. I saw a lot of downloads on it. I just posted it and I had like 15 downloads or something, and now I'm up to like almost 100. So let me know what you think. It's just really a news thing. So again, there's a link in the market, and you can just do a search for it and find it there under Bailey Blade or BXR or something like that, and you should be able to find it. So yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say about this, so I'll let you guys tell me what you think in the comments. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.